ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
Actually, Adiyan Swami, Adiyan has one very basic question, and you may have already covered this many times, but Adiyan still hasn't has heard it but has not grasped it fully, Swami. So Adiyan wants to pick up the question of humility. So today they were talking about Periya Tirumalai Nambi and how he is, though the most qualified, he said he was the least qualified when he climbs up to meet Emperor in Tirupati. So the question Adiyan had was, how do we naturally develop the sense of humility always? For Adiyan, personal experience, it does not come naturally. Adiyan has to keep telling in the mind many times. And then that's when, because when something good happens, you immediately want to take credit. It does not come yet, Swami. So Adiyan wants to understand, how do I bring that naichya bhAvam and the humility throughout, and how to make it come naturally, Adiyan.
See, this humility, it comes naturally when we understand the truth clearly. See, all along, we are used to materialistic lifestyle, materialistic interactions, where one has to show their dominance, that I'm doing this, I'm the best. So we are so used to this kind of presenting oneself as the best and oneself as the most accomplished, whether it is in the office, whether it is at home, whether it is in the friend circle. We are always trying to be the best. We are always trying to present that we are the best. But that may be okay in the materialistic perspective, because everyone is trying to get maximum pleasure in this materialistic world, and that pleasure can come by presenting ourselves as the best, which will make others glorify us, which will make others celebrate us and look up, which will make others to look up to us, and so on. So that will, beyond financial needs, these ego-based needs will be satisfied, and this will give even more satisfaction than money, because if someone is honored or celebrated in front of a crowd, then that adds value to the person. Anytime anyone, such person goes anywhere, he will get that recognition, and he will be considered as a celebrity and honored, and so on. So this is the general mindset of people, because of the presence in the samsara, in the material world, where there is always the desire for fame and honor, and so on. Because the accomplishments are also limited to some extent. I mean, one can earn money, they can earn probably millions, billions, but beyond that, it will become worthless. There will be no additional value for that person. If one does charity, they can do to some extent whatever he has or she has, but beyond that, there will be a limit for all of that. Whether it's a sports, whether it is movies, or whatever it is, there is always some limits. People can go to a particular limit, and then that's all. They will get stagnated in that particular position. But if you look at the Atma, and Atma's accomplishments and contributions, in true sense, the moment we understand that this universe is so big, it is so variegated, there are so many different aspects, then we become awestruck by Bhagavan's greatness, Bhagavan's efforts in helping us, reforming us. So whatever we have as accomplishments, in the large scheme of things, they are very, very small. Even let's say we gain popularity, we gain fame, we gain money, whatever it is, in the large scheme of things, when we have the true understanding, because materialistic people don't have that understanding, they see only the world which they see. So they think that, okay, being a billionaire is a great thing, being a great uh, movie star is a great thing, because the world they see is only very limited. In that, okay, this accomplishment looks big. But when we have the true understanding that this universe is just a tiny, tiny portion of the entire material realm, which is samsara, then we will get some realization. Okay, so we are only a very, very small particle, atomic, atma. And then we see Paramapadam, we get a little bit more understanding. Then we get um, more awestruck, because there is multifolds of enjoyments and wonderful aspects in Paramapadam compared to Samsaram. And again, we see that Bhagavan is the controller of both Paramapadam and Samsaram. Now, once we get this basic understanding itself, then we'll get on the back foot now, because we'll no longer think that we are great, we are accomplishing so much in whatever field it may be. It may be material, it may be spiritual. Even in spiritual aspects, if you think that, let's say, some person is reciting Nalaya Divya Prabandham from his memory, anytime, even if you wake up, if he wakes up from sleep, if we ask any pasuram from anywhere, he will explain or he will recite that pasuram clearly. Even that accomplishment is, in comparison to Alvars, Acharyas, Rishis, that is nothing. We have just memorized Nalayar Divya Prabandham, 4,000 pasurams. Let's say if some person is an expert in Vyakhyanams, even then that person cannot be a match for Purvacharyas or Alvars or Rishis and so on. So if we compare, then we will understand where we stand. Once this reality is understood by us, then naturally that humility will come. And we can see how great Acharyas remained, like in the case of Periyan Tirumalai Nambi, Bhagavad Ramanuja, Kuratalvan, Manavada Mamnikal, all of these Acharyas, how great they were. And in spite of that, they have shown so much humility. If you look at Alvars, they are directly blessed by Bhagavan with full knowledge and devotion. They are able to see all the three past, present, and future directly in front of them. Still, Alvar says, Adinayan, I am a very lowly dog, and so on. So when we understand this greatness of the universe, greatness of Bhagavan, greatness of Purvacharyas, Alvars, and see what we are doing, at times it may feel to us that we are probably better than people who are very materialistic. But still, it's always good to compare upwards than downwards. So we see people who are engaged in just material world, enjoying movies, sports, family life, just going around and going in the rat race, trying to make more money, try to make more comforts. We see them and we see us and we think, okay, we are not like that. We are at least having basic understanding about Atma. We are not behind money. We are not behind just materialistic comforts and so on. But that is okay to some extent, maybe to probably cheer us up. But then that cannot be the standards to be set by us. We cannot compare with someone who is not as spiritually advanced as oneself and be happy all the time. Rather, we should always look up to our Purvacharyas, look up to our Alvas, and then feel that how lagging we are, how much more we should do for our sampradayam, how much more we should try to help others, help ourselves in improving our own um, lifestyle, our own attitude, our own devotion, how to improve all of that. When we think about that, then we will realize, especially when we listen to kalakshepams, especially when we listen to all the aitihyams of purvacharyas, and how they have um, behaved in spite of being in great positions, how humble they were. When we look at that, then we will realize we are not even close to a small dust in their lotus feet. But still, we have so much pride, and we think, we are doing a lot and so on. Probably we are doing a little bit, but not anything compared to what our purvacharyas have done or whatever Alvas have done. So when this kind of looking up for inspiration happens, then we will naturally feel humble. When we look down at others, then we will become prideful. So this is why Alvas, in many occasions, don't see samsaram at all. They only see Bhagavan. They only see Bhagavatas. When they see Bhagavan and Bhagavatas, they feel humble and they are happy and they are enjoying. But when they see samsara, then they feel very sorrowful. They see the sufferings here and they are not happy about that. So it is always better to look up to our Purvacharyas and Alvas, so that we get inspired to become more and more like them, try to become more and more like them. Then we will understand that natural humility. Because if we think how Puratalwan was and how we are, then there is no scope for pride for us. We can easily overcome that pride at that time. So this is how, even in materialistic um, philosophies, people will always say that you look up to people who are more accomplished, more advanced than you, rather than always looking down and feeling happy, feeling comfortable about what you have done. The same concept can be easily applied in uh, spiritual aspects as well. And it is actually, once we have that self realization, naturally we cannot be anything other than humble. Because once we have that realization of Artha Panchakam, Tattvatrayam, and so on, then naturally we will think the truth about self and how insignificant this self is. So naturally that will follow, um, that will be followed up by the humility in the self. So I hope that helps a little bit.
ஆழ்வார் எம்பெருமானார் ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம். ஜீயர் திருவடிகளே சரணம்.
To learn such valuable information about our Sri Vaishnava Sampradaya, please download KOYIL, KOYIL app from Google Play Store or Apple App Store. Our website is koyil.org, KOYIL.org.